Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Business Connect and I'm here today with another video. A little bit different than most of my videos. Today we'll be talking about the recent happening in the United States. Over a week ago, the Supreme Court have ruled against the right of terminating pregnancies within the first 2 trimesters. Now women no longer have this reproductive right of terminating their pregnancy. And this will affect over half of the United States. And you know, the reason why I'm doing this video is because anything that affects the United States have a great possibility of affecting the rest of the world. And for you to understand the magnitude of what just happened, you will see very clearly how world leaders were reacting to this. Yeah, so when this happened, you see how everyone was giving their opinion. Great personalities were giving their opinion, other world leaders in Europe and even the World Health Organization and so many other activist groups were giving their opinion, how dissatisfied they are concerning this decision from the Supreme Court. And when you look at it just from the first side, you're just going to see one thing: they devaluing human rights. But there are so many other things attached to this. So today I'll be talking about 7 things that will happen if this rule of law is put in place. And these are things that will affect not only the United States, but the rest of the world. So the first thing I would like us to look at is a questionable US democracy. You know, when we talk about democracy, the government for the people, the government by the people, for the people, the US, we always look at the US to be like the examples of democracy. But in recent years, the US democracy has been placed on a balance. Yeah, the decision was made by the Supreme Court, and we all know that the US Supreme Court is made up of 9 judges. But for them to be this divided, that's already a greater sign that the United States is divided. And the democracy doesn't have the value that it used to have several years ago. Yeah, the judges, some of them were appointed by the former president Donald Trump, and some of them were appointed by the current president Joe Biden. And they don't have the same objective. They don't have the same ideologies. We have some of the judges that are conservatives, and we have some of the judges that are for or against them. So we see that it already places the US democracy on a balance. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this case. The second thing that I would like us to look at is the issue of human rights. For a country that the rest of the world looks up to as an example, undermining this fundamental reproductive right of a woman, I think is a major call for concern. If the United States should undermine this kind of fundamental reproductive right of the woman, then this is a call for concern, because it will not only affect the women, the minority women in the United States, but it will also affect, in one way or the other, women in other countries. Because something that affects the United States has a higher probability of affecting women or the rest of the world. And now you see, if now that is something that 5 judges were for it and 4 judges were against it, you see that women will now have to travel from one state to the other in seek of reproductive health. This is already placing the United States in a kind of divided role. This is not the kind of democracy that we know the United States to be. This is a major call for concern. And also, another thing I want to talk about is, if such a fundamental human right can be compromised at this time in the United States, then there are possibilities that others might be, maybe in due course, maybe gay marriages, maybe the use of contraceptives, maybe something else that is about our fundamental human rights might be compromised in the United States in the days ahead or in the years ahead. This is not a good sign for a country that holds democracy right up there. This is not a great sign for the United States at all. So this is really a legal concern in the United States at the moment, and this is something that will affect even the next presidential election in the United States. Yeah, because if they are divided, right now, then in the next presidential election, bills like this will be on the table and it will be of major concern. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about, which I consider the most important, who will this law greatly affect? The black community in the United States, Asian Americans, Latinos, the minority, the poor women, the minority population in the United States. These are the people that will suffer the most if such a law is enacted. They have to now start traveling from one state to the other in seek of reproductive health. This is a major concern. So that's why when I looked at this, I thought it's a major concern, and I thought it's something that I need to share with my viewers, with my subscribers. And even before I did this video, I had to talk to some of my friends here in China who are from the United States, and they were so disappointed. None of them were in support of this law. I even had to talk to some of my friends who were back in the United States, and honestly, I talked to the women especially because I know they are the first people that this law will affect them. It doesn't only affect the woman, it affects the family, it affects everyone, because if it affects the woman, it affects the family, it affects me, it affects you, it affects everyone. That's the reason why I decided to share this video with you guys, to also hear your opinion, to also hear what you think about this issue of abolishing the act of terminating pregnancy in the United States. What do you think about this? Let me know what are your opinions in the comment section below. Are you for it? Are you against it? And let's not only look at it at the surface, let's look at it deeply to see what will happen if such a law is enacted, and what are some of the signs that are attached to this. Let's look at the issue of democracy. Let's look at the issue of the judiciary system. Let's look at the issue of the constitution. Like a whole lot of things are connected to this that place a whole lot of other things unquestioned. So if you have something to add to this, to contribute to this, let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, and if you're not yet my subscriber, please don't leave the video without smashing that subscription button. Join us in the channel so that when I do videos like this, you will be notified and you'll be the first to watch my videos. Until now, peace out. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye.